Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to the hit show Beyond Proof Radio with Angie, redefining death and loss on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Are you struggling with loss? Are you willing to challenge everything you've been taught about life and death? Beyond Proof Radio is a space that explores beyond current self-limiting beliefs surrounding loss, offering radical healing which will come from the least likely of places. Join Angie on her journey, which includes science, medicine, and spirituality, proving that the body is merely a shell of our soul. It's possible to create an amazing life from the depths of pain. It's your life. It's your choice. Now, here's your host.
Good morning. This is Angie Corbett Kuiper with Outside the Box and a host of Lessons in Joyful Living Radio. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for joining me again. If you all remember, last week I was on with the beautiful Kimberly Rinaldo, founder and producer of Lessons in Joyful Living, and we kind of went down several different paths. And, but I did want to, at the end, I told you this week we would be talking about choice. And it's kind of interesting. I wanted to read this to you all because Kimberly had told me for a year and a half. I have heard this from Karen as well. And they said, just have fun with your radio program. Don't get so wrapped up in, thinking too much and just have fun. So I have to share this with you. And it's an Abraham Hicks publication. I'm very, very fond of Abraham Hicks, Esther and Jerry Hicks, now just Esther. Be easy about this. Be playful about it. Don't work so hard at it. Let your dominant intent to be to feel good. And if you don't feel good, then let your dominant intent to be to feel relief. Feel your way through it. If you think your way through it, you can get off on all kinds of tangents. If you feel your way through it, you can come quickly to your core energy. And when you do that, only good can then flow to you. And one moment, I'm going to let my dog out here real quick. Bear with me. Okay. Very good. Thanks, guys. But this comes right back to choice. I've had a couple of experiences happen, and Kimberly and I touched upon them last week, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth because I have so many people who will email me, or during my lectures, they will ask me, how can you be so happy with everything that you have been through? And I'm here to tell each and every one of you, it really, really boils down to a choice. I can choose to be happy. I can choose to be miserable. I can choose to complain. I can choose to find the negative in everything around me, or I can choose to see the positive and the light. And that's why I have chosen the positive and the light. I hear a lot of people complain about how fucked up our world is and how the leaders are so horrible, and you're going to attract that. If you are looking for that to solidify, oh my gosh, I'm not alone, then you are simply choosing to follow, at this point at least, the majority. And so, first of all, what is choice? When I have been asked after the suicide death of my 20-year-old son, April 1st of 2015, and then the suicide death of my brand new, sparkly, shiny, beautiful, beautiful husband of only 1 week after we'd been engaged for 5 years, on April 25th of 2016. So almost 1 year and 4 days to the date of each other, I had to make a choice. Am I going to choose to be defined by them and their actions, or am I going to choose something else? And I'm here to tell you I've chosen something else. Has it been easy? No. But I'm alive and I am here and I'm making the choice to see them in everything I do. And where my goal is it's helping others who don't even know how to make that first choice. When we are born, we are, as children, we are to be seen, most of us, and not to be heard. We are told based on other people's perceptions of their beliefs, what they were taught, at least in my home, what we were told to have opinions, desires. As adults, they were supposed to be respected. Not children. We did what we said to keep the peace. It is what kept us safe. But I say that as we are children. So why do we still continue to choose to be that 10-year-old little child? And so when I've been asked how I've been able to choose differently and choose happiness in the tumultuous circumstances that have presented to me, I didn't just wake up choosing to be happy or choosing life over death and choosing me over their choices. It has been a culmination of all the choices I've made from when I became aware that something just didn't feel right. So the first major choice that I made that I can actually recall, besides, I don't like Brussels sprouts, but you're going to eat them anyway because we told you to, was when my son was only 9 months old. And this is about 23 years ago when I reflected back on when I started making choices and the choices that I did. And it was when I was told to leave my son, who was 9 months, in the care of people that had told me some very interesting things about the caregiver. She had some fainting spells. She had to be revived from the paramedics or by the paramedics because of a glucose, a hypoglycemic incident. She had a little bit of narcolepsy where she would just fall asleep. She was on several medications. And so I knew at that point, and my first husband and my mother-in-law, ex-mother-in-law, we do not feel comfortable with your son traveling that far to go and you're not with them. And it scared the crap out of me. I had to tell my own parents that I would not allow my 9-month-old son to go up to Los Alamos, New Mexico, an hour and a half in the car with just my mom. And my whole world just shattered. Everything I believed. I remember sitting on that phone just shaking, because it was the first time I stood up to them. And what did that look like? I was shaking. I was perspiring. I was nervous. I knew that I was going to be labeled as difficult or a bad girl. I didn't honor my mother and father. But at that point, when you have, and I don't know if I'm talking truth to any of you out there, maybe, when we grew up, we didn't have choices what to eat, who our friends were, who strangers were, good, bad, right, and wrong. But they're other people's choices, their expectations, and their desires. And so I had to get real with myself. And it was at that point that I lost really the relationship that I had with my own parents. So in a way, and this is part of what it all comes together, it happened outside the box of parents, teachers, friends, family. Choices always do. And I see a lot of others who, and hear from my clients, from people in my audiences, I don't know how to make a choice. We're paralyzed because we're so used to everyone else making the choices for us. We are getting ready to head to a break, so I don't want to delve too much more into this right now. But let's go into the next segment of talking about how we can start beginning to make small choices that lead up to the humongous choices that will actually be the choices that are going to absolutely, you will live in joy. I promise you that. So I look forward to, after the break, coming back and talking choices some more. Thank you.
How many times do you find yourself saying, "It was nothing"? Next time someone tells you "great job," you'll know how to accept it and not deflect it by listening to Courage to Be Seen Radio with host Sherry Clark. Sherry Clark is an experienced global engineering leader, coach, and mentor. From her experiences one-on-one coaching to corporate consulting and executive coaching, Sherry has learned many women need at least 3 things to discover and face success. Learn about the ACES program, how to survive male-dominated fields with grace and authenticity, and reach the top without ever once giving up on who you are. Courage to Be Seen host Sherry Clark explores the awesome power of your entire self. Check out her website, CourageToBeSeen.com, and listen to the first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. Pacific with host Sherry Clark. You have the courage to be seen. See you later.
Right now, ask yourself, how far are you from your dream? Are you closer today than yesterday? Entrepreneur and personal coach Deborah Rothschild brings the wit and wisdom to transform you into a new dynamic you. Tune in to the Deborah Rothschild Show, Developing a Dynamic You. To learn more about Deborah, visit thedeborahshow.com. That's the DEBRA show.com.
Tune in live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit JenniferZellup.com to thrive with Jen.
Welcome back. It's Angie Corbett Kuiper with AngieCorbettKuiper.com is my website. You're more than welcome to join me there. It will go over some of the book with no S, the book that is going to be released in October, hopefully, crossing my fingers. But it is called To Become Your Soulmate. And one of the chapters in that book, I talk a lot about choice, what we're talking about today. So if you get a chance, I am going to send out if you want to receive a copy receive a copy, go on, give me your email address, and I will make sure to send you out a free chapter of that. But let's get back to choice. The definition of choice As a noun, it's defined in Wikipedia or Merriam-Webster's, an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. So here I am, I'm 52. The problem is when we're young and when we're little, we do not have the tools to make choices. So we believe everything everyone tells us, and especially when they come up, when they're your parents, when they're your teachers, when they're your pastors. They are the quote unquote adults. And I had a conversation with my son yesterday, and I said, it's really interesting. We are to honor our elders or adults, yet I see more children at the age of 15 who are more worthy of my respect than 70-year-olds. And so this is another choice that I had to make as well. Who am I going to allow into my life? And so when I talk about choices with you all, you know what? And I think we've gotten so wrapped up in this as a society. At least I did, especially in how humongous religions have gotten as well, is sin. And what they constitute sin as is wrong. Sin, wrong. But choices, they're never wrong unless you continue to do those choices over and over and over and over again. And I think, let me see if I can find it here because I don't want to mess it up too bad. But it is, and I can't find it exactly, but it's Albert Einstein's, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So when you're in that, and it can be in a job, it can be in marriage, it can be anything. If you're sitting down to eat, how many times are you sitting with friends and somebody will say, or you're in the car driving, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. We can't even make decisions on where we want to eat. And so when the big decisions come and the big choices, we don't have a clue. So the first challenge I give to each of you is if you are in that same not being able to make a choice or not, and I hear so many, especially women, it's like, I'm so indecisive. Instead of laughing about it, start digging deep and asking yourself, why am I indecisive? And a lot of times it comes from not feeling good about ourselves and afraid that we are going to make a, like Kimberly would say, air quotes, quote unquote, the wrong choice. Now, if you've grown up in some type of religion or you read the Bible, which 32%, based on the religion's biblical statistics, their 32% are of a Christian domain. Read the Bible. And if you look at Romans chapter 3, verse 20, it says, therefore no one will be declared righteous in his sight by observing the law. Rather, through the law, we become conscious. So if we are to take that, just that specific passage, you don't just do what other people say and obey the law and grow and learn and heal. You have to go through it. It's when we become awake. It's when we become painfully aware and sensitive. And usually I'm finding that people do not find a need to become aware or to make choices for themselves until something horrific happens in their own lives. It may be death of someone close, death of a loved one. It could be death of a love. It could be a diagnosis of a debilitating disease, a loss of a pet, a loss of a job. So we make a choice through all of these. Do we grow or do we stay the same? And it was interesting. I'm going to give you a little bit of an anecdote. My son and I were visiting Telluride, Colorado this weekend. And he had said, Mom, let's go to Telluride and it's the Ride Fest. And Zach, what is the Ride Fest? Well, you get on your mountain bikes and ride. Well, no, it actually was more like Woodstock. But we ended up mountain bike riding. And there was a little area. It was called cornhole or beanbag toss. And Zach had asked me if I wanted to play. So we tied up my dog Maisie, our dog Maisie, and I saw a mom come up. And this little tiny girl must have been about 3 or 4. Mommy, puppy. And she went to race after our dog, who most kids, adults, they love her. Do you mind if we pet her? Do you mind if we love on her? Absolutely not. But we were out in the middle of this field playing beanbag toss, and I heard this conversation, and the mom quickly grabbed her daughter away. We don't touch dogs. So already this child, at least until she's out of her parents' home or 18, whatever comes first, has got this fear of liking or loving dogs. And it's not even her choice. It's not even her choice. Her mom is conditioning her to not like dogs. So in my mind, I thought either this woman had been bitten and is protecting her daughter from a bite, or her mom, whose mom has taught her the learned behavior of not liking dogs. My point being here is, in order to learn, we have to experience for ourselves, and we have to choose to take the training wheels off the bicycle. Most don't. And I see so many parents, and I was one of them with my firstborn son. I wanted to protect him in those 4 walls, so I made all his choices for him. I chose what school he was going to go to. I chose what friends, based on the people I enjoyed being around. I didn't allow him the opportunity to make a whole lot of choices. In his death, did I grow? Did I learn? And ultimately, I have healed. So my relationship with my second son, Zach, I'm allowing him to make choices. Do they scare the shit out of me at times? Yes, because it's not what I have chosen. And because based on my experiences, I know from my own experiences, sometimes those paths are laden with hurt and pain. And as parents, we all want to protect our children from making the quote unquote wrong choices. But once again, there are no wrong choices if you choose to open up your mind. Oh, there we go again, another choice. Choose to open up your mind to opening up your mind. Zach needs to learn. Zach needs to learn from his own experiences. I see so many parents, and I was guilty of as well. Don't touch the hot stove. Don't touch the hot stove. It's going to burn. How do we know what burn is? How do we know what hot is until we physically touch something? I touched it. Ouch. Ooh, don't want to touch that again. And I'm going to continue to use this analogy going into a fire and continuing to touch that, going up to it and putting our finger in it, thinking it's not going to burn. It's a choice. Everything we do is a choice. And if we can stop, I had to stop listening to everyone telling me what the right choices were. And it has cost me my friends. It has cost me my family. It has cost me people that have been in my life for 52 years. And I have to tell you, it is the most rewarding, amazing experience. And I want to help each and every one of you realize that, yes, at first you're going to be scared and you're going to shake and you're going to sweat and you're going to want to go back. But if you can get to that point, I wish I had someone like me to hold your hand, because I didn't have that. So when we come back, I'm going to share with you then some of the choices you can start making for yourself. Just little choices at first. And I'm here, and we're back in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Do you know how powerful your thoughts and beliefs are in determining your experience of your life? Is it really true that simply by changing some of the words you use in your day-to-day language, that you can change your life? I'm Megan Edge. Join me on Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
To find out more about Megan Edge, visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Join us, Tina and Laura, on the Ghost Helper Show, where the paranormal is more normal than you think. We break down the doors of the scary and the airy-fairy in a logical, scientific approach. As psychics who once led ordinary lives until paranormal events reshaped our world. Join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and Facebook Live. We prove that the paranormal is more normal than most people think.
Do you know how to achieve wellness in all areas of your life? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Signs of wellness are a capacity to love and ability to nurture, a sense of purpose, a good sense of humor and plenty of fun in your life, a concern for others and a respect for the environment, a conscious commitment to personal excellence, a sense of balance and integrated lifestyle, and capacity to cope with whatever life presents. Well people enjoy their lives and want them to last as long as possible. That's why the wellness mindset usually accompanies other constructive, healthy lifestyle habits. By adopting a wellness mindset and behaviors like eating well, taking the right nutrition for the body, exercising, and saying affirmations are just a few things to structure a healthy system of values and beliefs. I will be your wellness coach to help you achieve a wellness lifestyle. Call us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at MaryJaneMack.com.
Coming to you live on TransformationTalkRadio.com is the Brilliance Ultimatum. Time's Up with Claudette Rowley. Powerful conversations, practical innovations, and transformative solutions as Claudette and her guests delve into the possibilities and what she calls reality resistance. Join the cultural revolution and annihilate obstacles. Check it out at culturalbrilliance.com.
Hi, welcome back. This is Angie Corbett Kuiper of Angie Corbett Kuiper. And please visit my website if you get a chance. It is a work in progress. I'm really excited and making a choice not to make it a gotta get there, but I'm enjoying the journey as I go. So I'm learning all these things about radio and website and having a wonderful time. And I have to laugh because my producer, Karina, just sent me a message. I want grits. I don't know why. I just want them. And so she's making a choice. I'm very proud of you, Karina. Great job. Anyway, getting back to choice. And she's LOL, me too. Okay, so getting back, that fire, putting your finger in the fire is kind of where we left off. And what I found is until I learned what I didn't want, I couldn't choose what I did want. And so we don't grow. I mean, you don't hear it called growing happy. It's called growing pain. And a lot of us, me included, for a very long time, I would try to either laugh when things would happen and make them seem okay, Now I'm choosing to sit and I will cry. I will cry in front of people. I will laugh in front of people. I will hurt in front of people. Because I think if we all just start showing our feelings, and I know for men that's a satanic word. If we all start feeling instead of thinking, our choices are so much better for us. I want to repeat that again, and that is feeling is when we are completely in line with what we need to be healthy. When we think too hard, it's the what ifs. And remember, it keeps us in the past. It keeps us in old stories. Now, some people love those stories. Some people love to absolutely, and I can't say love. I don't want to use the word love there. People have come, there is a familiarity with misery. So when I see individuals who are depressed, and once again, I do want to preface, I am not a doctor. I do pretend to be one, being in biotech for 21 years. I see people most of the time are depressed, not because they don't know, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Instead, to ask the question, who is wrong with me? And I will almost guarantee you, speaking from my own experience, when I started looking at the relationships that I continued to choose to be in, they weren't healthy for me anymore. I needed to choose something different, but I was so freaking scared because, oh my God, I've known this woman for 25 years. I can't possibly give up this quote unquote friendship, but it was offering me nothing. It wasn't fulfilling to me. In fact, it was exhausting. And did you hear what I said? It felt exhausting. So when we choose our friends, and in one of, actually a couple of my audiences, Conscious Life Expo last year in Los Angeles, and then I've had several talks in Albuquerque, and then my recent one in England last month. And I've had several people come up to me after the program. And how do you know when people are not nice to you or they're not good for you? It's being aware. And so next week, I kind of want to delve into awareness. I won't get too much into it now, but it's becoming aware. And then it's making a choice. Do you want to spend time with the person who is feeding you and making you feel love and happy and your smile just lights up? Or are you choosing to be with those people who continually to stomp on your dreams, to put you down, to keep you down? That's a choice. So going back to in my talks, what I tell people is that just be aware of those people who are bringing you down. And I say, go pick that one person where you are just rolling your eyeballs when the phone rings, because they don't take care of your soul. They do not feed your soul. I call it reciprocity. But most of us have been taught that we have to suffer. We have to hurt because by loving these difficult people, we have to continue and mesh ourselves into their lives and their problems and do what they say so they like us. But my question is, why? Why? To love, and this is a choice for me too, to love is to wish well. It doesn't mean to go crawl into their misery suitcase. I wish you well. And that is love. And I think what happens is I can love unconditionally, but it doesn't mean I have to go out and stoop and hold everybody's energy. And so one choice I want to share with you all, one thing that you can do today, and I'd love to hear from each and every one of you, if you feel compelled to do so, send me and I'm going to be setting up a communicative, like Facebook, where we can all go and you guys can share, but give an example. One, just listen to yourself when you speak. Make the choice not to talk about another person. Make the choice to find something joyful, not something negative. And it's okay to be negative. It's a choice as well. But I'll guarantee you won't be listening to me very long because I'm no bullshit. I work with those people who know that there's something more and they're not sure how to do it themselves. They need that little nudge or they need that little push. Now, most of the time I found that it is very comfortable to stay in the same. Well, Angie, I told my parents, and they're expecting me to be up at Thanksgiving dinner by 2:00 on Thanksgiving Day. But what they don't realize is that we have a brand new baby. We've got a 6-year-old son. We've got to pack the car. I would like them to come to our house for dinner. Awesome. Tell them. Oh, but I can't. I'm afraid. They're not going to be happy with me. They're going to be angry with me. You don't know my dad. You don't know my mom. That may not be the best choice. Start small. Start with that one person on the telephone that you roll your eyes and you're like, oh my God, I just don't want to talk to this person. And make a choice to start simply spending less time with those people who are not raising you up. It's sort of like, what do they say on the airplanes before you take off? It's the oxygen masks are. If you're seated with a small child, take the oxygen mask, put it on yourself first, and then put the oxygen mask on the child. It is helping yourself. You are in no position to take care of yourself or to take care of others if you do not know how to take care of yourself. You will find yourself as what I call a people pleaser. And people pleasers, you become, or I noticed to myself, I was one too. I can see it. I tell people right then, hey, I'm being a people pleaser right now. I don't know why. I'll figure it out. Robert Frost has a great poem, and it's called The Road Not Taken. It begins with the 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood and ends with 2 roads diverged in a wood. And I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So to choose different is sometimes and most of the time not a popular choice. But in retrospect, it has formed who I am and who I have become. And so when people will say to me, you need to come back. You need to come back. And you will find this when you start making these small choices. I told you I'd give you an example. And that is, make a simple choice of, gosh, I don't know what to choose. I don't know if I want pizza. I don't know if I want a burger. Oh my God. And just see how simple of a choice that is. And when you can't even make a decision of what to eat, can you imagine what other decisions you're not making and what other choices are so difficult? And so, simply make a choice on food and you're going to start finding, hey, I'm okay. Nothing bad happened to me. I'm still here. And yes, you may have somebody pulling you back, but Angie, you never have burger. Angie, we always eat pizza here. You can't have a burger, Angie. You have to have pizza. And watch what happens to those people. when you start making the choices to do something a little bit different than what they've expected you to do, you will start seeing those people who don't have your highest and best interest will soon kind of leave. They will remove themselves from you, or they will suffer with you because they're not happy with the choice of pizza or a burger. These are the small choices, and we're going to get into some really, really big ones, things that I've done going forward. But I do have to say, choice is one of the biggest decisions we have to make. And it's in those moments of indecisiveness that if you force yourself to just make a choice based on what you feel, you're going to piss a lot of people off. But once you find out that you're happy with the choice you made, you're going to attract people who are happy that you're happy that you made the choice. We're getting ready to head into break here in a few seconds. And so I will go into some personal details of some of the big choices that I made that were kind of a culmination of all the smaller choices. So once again, if you haven't had a chance, I welcome you to AngieCorbettKuiper.com.
How many times do you find yourself saying, "It was nothing"? Next time someone tells you "great job," you'll know how to accept it and not deflect it by listening to Courage to be Seen Radio with host Sherry Clark. Sherry Clark is an experienced global engineering leader, coach, and mentor. From her experiences one-on-one coaching to corporate consulting and executive coaching, Sherry has learned many women need at least 3 things to discover and face success. Learn about the ACES program, how to survive male-dominated fields with grace and authenticity, and reach the top without ever once giving up on who you are. Courage to be Seen host Sherry Clark explores the awesome power of your entire self. Check out her website, CourageToBeSeen.com, and listen to the first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. Pacific with host Sherry Clark. You have the courage to be seen. See you later.
Right now, ask yourself, how far are you from your dream? Are you closer today than yesterday? Entrepreneur and personal coach Deborah Rothschild brings the wit and wisdom to transform you into a new dynamic you. Tune in to the Deborah Rothschild Show, Developing a Dynamic You. To learn more about Deborah, visit thedeborahshow.com. That's the DEBRA show.com.
Tune in live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit JenniferZellup.com to thrive with Jen.
Welcome back. It's Angie Corbett Kuiper. Thank you all for listening, and I'm hoping that that you'll get a few pearls from this conversation of choice. This is the last segment, and I want to let you all know that I think what I want to delve into next week is happiness is not a sin. Yeah, so we'll discuss because I think we've been raised in society to take care of ourselves and to be happy is wrong. And so we're supposed to be taking care of everybody else. I will tell you, others can choose to like me or they can choose not to like me. But when we make what society deems as unpopular choices, we'll find ourselves very, very alone most of the time, because one will be labeled not like us. And I will be honest, it was painful because I absolutely lost almost every single person that was in my life. And when I started making these difficult choices one by one, I started noticing that people were kind of falling away. And I will tell you, once you start doing this, it isn't out of anger or bitterness. It's just your energy shifts. You magnetize or you attract, not wrong, not right, just different. And so the people that I have chosen, really haven't even chosen, they have attracted, I've attracted them to me, they have attracted me to them. You will start finding that you're going to attract, and I call it your tribe is your vibe. And your vibration is when you start taking such amazing care of yourself, doing little things for yourself, choosing different. Every single year I've been doing this and this and this and this and this. And this is that definition Albert Einstein talks about, is the definition of insanity. So you can either not do it anymore, which I chose, or you can continue to do it. That's a choice as well. But I see so many people bitch and complain and continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And so every single life experience is simply the breaths that we take and the choices that we make. Am I going to get up at 5 this morning and walk the dog, or do I feel like sleeping in? Yes, some of us have to go to work. That is not a choice. But it is a choice to be in a job that is rewarding and gives you joy and happiness. Oh, but Angie, I can't choose. This is a 6-figure income. I call that tied to golden handcuffs. You can do things to start. What do you feel like doing? My second husband, the love of my absolute life, was a diagnostic kind of transplant cardiologist at Baylor in Dallas. And his dad was a cardiologist. And I asked him, did you want to be a doctor? And you know what he said to me? I wanted to be a forest ranger. And excuse my bipolar here, I'm starting to cry, because he absolutely loved what he did. But what he really wanted to do was be a forest ranger. But we're taught there's no money in forest ranger. There's money in medicine. There's money in sickness. And so, but what we did do is we traveled all over the world. We've been to almost every major national park in the world. So as he got older, he started making different choices. We were about ready to retire before he took his life. We were making choices based on feelings, not based on what we thought. And I know that I did not come to this earth to win a popularity contest. I came here for some purpose, some huge purpose, just like each and every one of you have. And I realized that it was to be a healer, to help those desiring a little nudge or a huge kick in the ass, but with love and kindness, to choose different, to think for themselves, to choose different, to choose amazing, not cowering in someone else's shadow out of fear. And my thought as well, and feeling, especially for me, we do make our choices based on love or fear. And I will get a lot of pushback and a lot of people, no, we don't, no, we don't, no, we don't. Yes, we do. We choose to stay in jobs we hate because we're afraid that we're not going to make ends meet. We choose to stay in marriages and relationships because we fear to be alone. We choose to stay in the house because we're afraid of what might be outside. So when we start making choices based on love is when the world looks really freaking amazingly beautiful and bright. But it does take work to get to that point. So every single life choice that I made, to be the breadwinner, to be the man of the family, no one forced me. I chose this based on how I was raised. And so what I have found, what makes people change the most, it's usually I suck at math, I'm counting the letters in death, DEATH, the 5 letters, death. Because what's the worst thing that can happen to any one of us? We die. And once you have not one, but 2 people die, and you've gone through divorce, and you've gone through parents not appreciating or approving of your lifestyle at the young age of 52, you start learning, you know what? I'm not going to please every single person. I'm not going to please anyone, and it's not my job. And I'm going to give you a warning right here. When you start traveling down the road less taken, you will soon find out who your true friends will be. You will find those, or at least those who did, who only liked me or called me their friend as long I was living what they deemed appropriate, acceptable lifestyle. I left my religion. I left my parents. I left friends. I left a marriage. My son took his life. My husband took his life. I was in debt. For 5 years, I crawled out of $80,000 in debt because I lived at the exact same income when I didn't have a job. And so how do we begin to make choices? If you have not been hit with tumultuous circumstances and life is good, I will guarantee you, you are going to be in a position where you're going to have to make a choice that is life altering. And I would love to see you begin to make the choices, because when life hands you that humongous, that would level most, earth-shattering, heart-wrenching, painful experience, you too will realize, you know what? I'm glad I made the choices that I did, because now in death I can choose yet another path. I can choose and look at death. I can choose and say, you know what? God, I'm glad for the most amazing 5 years of the love affair of my life. It was the most amazing sex I've ever had in my life. It was the most amazing world travels. I can look at my 20-year-old son and say, I had 20 years with him. Some don't have that. So what do? I choose to look on the other side. I choose to look and choose to believe that there is another side, that there's a whole new world that a lot of us have not even experienced. But it's through the small changes and choices that I have been able to make the most significant choices of all. Religion, friendships, family, jobs, money, relationships. And it is my belief that we make choices, like I had said, out of love or fear. And I was choosing for a very long time to choose because I didn't want to hurt anybody else's feelings. We think that our choices are going to make someone else happy or sad. They don't. We do not have that power. I'm here to tell you, you may think you have that much power. You do not. It is not our job. It is our job to be happy. And once we're happy, we attract happiness. So until next time, go to my website. I'm looking very forward to my Bahamas trip. I'll get more into that next week. But it is a total immersion in self-discovery and self-love. I'm bringing 5 speakers to the beautiful Nassau, Bahamas for a 1-week I call it a paincation. It will be the most painful, eye-awakening soul journey you've ever been to, starting with how we would like to raise ourselves if we were our reparenting ourselves. So from child, looking at why we're triggered into emotional depression, OCD, people-pleasing, to delving into the spiritual side that most of us, it's untapped because we're so stuck here ungrounded on this earth. It's a choice. So I'm looking forward to next week where we will discuss happiness is not a sin, and wherever else the conversation takes us. And I'll be taking some questions and some of the emails that I've received. So thank you, each and every one. I love you, and see you next week.
Thank you for listening to Beyond Proof Radio with Angie, redefining death and loss. Tune in every first and third Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Angie shares through choice, present moment awareness, and a willingness to keep an open mind about everything that anything is possible. Tune in every first and third Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Angie shares through choice, present moment awareness, and a willingness to keep an open mind about everything that anything is possible, even in death. For more information or to listen to past shows, visit BeyondProof.com. That's BeyondProof.com. See you next time.